this is not a scam. The title is real. Chaos is actually winning. Since we had the big narrative change with 8th edition, with the Great Rift, the Imperium Nihilus, you know, the two parts of the Imperium, Chaos has really been on the back burner. They did all this, but it seems like the other races really took advantage of it, like the Necrons, the Orcs, etc. And Chaos has been really just laying low, waiting to strike, or not really doing anything. No momentum to their forces. But now, with the new Ark books, Chaos is right there. Chaos is taking the fight to the Imperium, and it's absolutely kicking its ass. Now, this video will be going into some spoiler territory with the new Arks of Omen lore, Book 1 and Book 2. If you're currently reading them and you care about not being spoiled, please leave the video right now, because this is your first and only warning. Now, let's get everyone up to date so we're all on the same page. So what basically happened in Arks of Omen Book 1, Abaddon met with Vashtor. Vashtor basically said, hey, let's work together. I will give you this weapon where you can conquer the galaxy, where you can bring death on the Imperium, and in doing so, I'll be ascended into the 5th Chaos God. Abaddon agreed, and they both went out. They're both going out searching for relics, and in that, they've basically made a massive fleet of Space Hulks all put together. They've given them to, like, notable commanders, and those commanders have now gone out into the galaxy, and they're taking the fight to the Imperium. Now, these fleets that have been sent out are currently smashing the Imperium to bits. That's not to say that some of them haven't been destroyed. Dante stumbled upon one, and it was all empty, and it was left like a mysterious, like, who did this, who stopped this. There's been some cases where some of these Arks of Omens have been destroyed by the Imperium, but it really ascends now in the next book. It really puts Chaos as the main wedge which are out there to cause absolute destruction, and it's all thanks to Abaddon, Vashtor, and Angron. Now, where we are now with Book 2 is basically around this planet, and this planet is being protected by the 5th Crusade fleet. And when I say a 5th Crusade fleet, I'm talking about thousands of Marines, thousands of Battle Sisters, there's Custodes there, there's Sisters of Silence there, you know, Admech, everything you can think of when it comes to a Crusade fleet. As I've explained before, these Crusade fleets have been explained in the lore to be bigger than the Crusade fleets back during the Great Crusade. There's just vast numbers attached to these, because this is the Imperium's response at taking back its territory, to fighting Chaos and pushing it back. But what happens in this book is absolutely insane. Now, the reason why this 5th Crusade fleet is around this planet is because a device has been found, and it's this ancient piece of technology which basically, it's like the Astronomicon. It actually projects the Astronomicon beacon, which of course helps people navigate and stuff like that, which is very, very important to the Imperium for, you know, moving forces, for moving cargo, you know, everything you can think of, resources around. But what it's also doing is actually a beacon to Angron as well. It's like it's putting like it's hurting Angron, because it's like the Emperor's signal. So Angron and his World Eaters and his fleet and his forces of chaos are going there to destroy it, to take it out. And this is what Vashtor wants, because in the planet is one of the relics which is a part of Vashtor's big plan. Whatever this big plan is with ascending to be a 5th god and giving Abaddon this weapon, again, whatever this weapon is, it's all a part of this planet. So Vashtor and Angron are heading here to cause absolute mayhem and hopefully take on the Imperial forces and be victorious. Also, just a side note, it's explained in the book that the World Eater force that is gathered to Angron is absolutely huge, insanely huge. If I'm not mistaken, there's more World Eaters here that, well, has gathered under Angron's banner right now, that ever went to the Siege of Terra. I don't know why, maybe, you know, because of like all the other battles that was happening around the galaxy during the Great Crusade, but now this is like kind of like a blood crusade kind of thing. This is like Angron's, I am back, I am here, blood for the blood god kind of thing, and he is just being swarmed by all his sons. Everyone who is, you know, giving themselves to Khorne, they're all flooding to Angron for this vast new battle. Like, the numbers truly are insane. And the fleets involved in this, again, is just absolutely next level. So I just want to try and set the scene. So Abaddon has kind of given all the resources for Angron and, this assault on the planet. Angron, with his legion-sized strength of World Eaters, they're heading to this planet. And when they engage, of course, it's the Fifth Fleet. And it's made up of chapters. If I'm not mistaken, the Ultramarines are there. The White Scars are there. The Imperial Fists are there. Some of, I think, what else is it? I think the Sons of Medusa are there as well. Some Iron Hands in there. And you have this massive, epic engagement where it's just ships ripping ships apart, boarding and stuff like that. The Conqueror's there. The Conqueror turns up. Angron's in the Conqueror. He like jumps out of the Conqueror and just comets down to the planet. We'll move on to the planet battle in a second. But you have this massive void battle. The Conqueror is actually about to be blown apart. And Khan being Khan, boards the ship that's about to, destroy the Conqueror, fights his way to the bridge and literally rips it all apart. I think it was an Ultramarine flagship, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, rest in peace, Ultramarines, who got absolutely butchered by Khan the Betrayer. Now, of course, with the Imperium fleet, fighting, basically just getting ripped apart by this vast horde of chaos and, the World Eaters and stuff like that. Angron, as I mentioned, descends down on the planet. He's followed by his sons. But on the planet, of course, there's a vast army that opposes him, mainly the Grey Knights. There's a mini army of Grey Knights there that are there to stop Angron and banish him, just like Armageddon. Does it go like Armageddon? No, it does not. Angron rips through the Grey Knights. If I'm not mistaken, the captain of the Grey Knights, who was leading them all, he managed to uppercut Angron with his power maul, if I'm not mistaken. But Angron just turned around and just cut him in half, splat, and he's completely dead. And then the most glorious thing about this is Khorne, the god. Khorne himself actually gets involved. You got the Chaos Gods getting directly involved in this conflict. And what I mean by this is he basically puts all his power into Angron to destroy this ancient piece of technology, and it's kind of similar, really. If you've read the Guilliman book, was it called Plague War? But it was in the Plague War series, where the Emperor kind of went into Guilliman and he managed to burn a bit of the Nurgle's garden. Khorne himself got up from his throne and he put all his strength into the killing blow at destroying this thing, and it was that big of a killing blow. Khorne's blow was so big, it split the planet in two. Or should I say that? I think it was a moon, actually. Sorry, my bad. Moon or planet split it in two. That is how powerful it was, and everyone then on the planet was just dead, just from that one single blow. And the backlash from that is something that I mentioned in the video the other day, the murder curse, which basically sent everyone insane, and it turned them into Khorne, they fell to Khorne in this absolute curse, this rage, this absolute madness. The only people that weren't affected were the Custodians, the Grey Knights who were left, the Sisters of Battle, if I'm not mistaken. Inquisitors fell, Space Marines fell, Primaris Space Marines fell, Battle Sisters fell. People tell me the other day, Valrak, this is the first time Sisters have fallen to Chaos as well, rather than just Primaris Marines. I thought they've fallen before, but apparently not. I'm sure I read something about in a Gaunt's Ghost book about some fallen sisters, but maybe that was just me dreaming about things. Now, I know a couple of people are saying, well, technically they didn't fall to Chaos because this murder curse thing kind of changed them over, but I'm what's the difference, right? You either fall to Chaos of your own choosing, or you turned against your choosing. It doesn't matter. You still fell to Chaos. You are now working for the powers of Chaos, for Khorne, for the Blood God, right? All the roads lead to this same point, so it doesn't really matter with that bloody argument for me personally. And really, what I really want to talk about in this video is that with that 5th Crusade fleet now technically being made excommunicata traitoris, and the vast numbers a part of that, Chaos themselves have now really anchored themselves at being in a position of power. Absolute power. They've got so many resources. Angron's back. The World Eaters have reformed technically in their own legion now. This is a very, very, absolutely very scary time for the Imperium. And as I was going through this book, I was thinking, where the hell is Guilliman? What's Guilliman doing? Like, Guilliman's not even mentioned. Surely Guilliman now has to come out and do something. I know what we got in the last bit of lore where Guilliman was heading to the Prime Nexus and the Silent Kings there, so maybe we're going to get a bit of a match-up with them two. But I'm thinking what's really got to happen, this is the doors opening now for, of course, another Primarch returning. It was a lying video all along. I tricked you. I got you into the video. This opens it up now for the Lion to return and help Guilliman out. Another loyalist to come back and, again, start leading his sons. The Dark Angels, the Unforgiven, them banding back together as a kind of Legion-esque Dark Angels force once again, would be probably powerful enough to combat the forces of chaos that have managed to gather and are pushing through now and causing the Imperium so much damage and destruction. Anyway, Chaperoonios, I'm going to leave the video there. For me, I'm loving what I'm reading so far in this new lore. I know some of you are not happy with some of the things that have been happening. They're like, oh, this is so stupid. But, everyone's different. Tomato. If we're all the same, we'd all be Aaron Shearer, right? And how boring would that be? If you've got any thoughts, feedback, anything like that, post it down below and we can have a nice little talk down there. If you've got any questions about any of the new lore, yeah, we'll talk it down there as well. But yeah, have a great day. Thank you for coming. I don't know what else to say. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. See you now. Have a great day and bye-bye.